All right, it's Saturday. I'm heading out to Gold's Gym, and I'm going to try this little 4K camera mounted on top of my helmet. I don't know if it died or not. I guess it died. All right, just got back from the gym. As you can see, I rode my bike, took you guys along with me. I had every intention, honest to God, which is unlike me, but I had every intention of going in there and filming my entire arm workout because I have switched some things up in what I'm doing with my arms right now. Of course, whatever I do, it's not like I've never done it before. It's just over the years, things progressively become more tailored, more suitable to my age, I guess, and of course, my experience level. But I switched some things up and went back to doing some things the way I used to do them. And I was going to video that arm workout. Plus, there's already a video up here on my channel of me out in the garage just using all free weights doing arms. Just a little workout that you could do at home. So I wanted to make a video of in the gym where I have more things to explore what I do. And I've gone back to supersetting biceps and triceps. There for the longest time, I've been running biceps on back after back and triceps after chest. So now I've come back and turned back around and gotten back into the supersetting and given them their own individual workout. And of course, there's a whole bunch of spillover, associated muscle groups and things. If I'm doing arms, my front delts are getting pumped. I may throw in some extra front delt shit. Medial delts, I'll throw in some medial delt shit. All depends on what I've been doing up to that point that week and where everything's at and what I think needs extra work and just feels. I go by feel. I'm tuned in pretty good to my body at this point, and that's a prerequisite to any real success in any kind of physical endeavor like this. Of course, always, I'll do rear delts when I do triceps. Afterwards, if I'm going to do triceps, I'm going to do rear delts. We'll put some rear delts. And I do some exercises, and this is why I use a cable, because I can with a cable, I can associate the leverage points as far as, not really maybe the leverage points, but I can actually disconnect myself from just battling gravity as being straight down, even though the weight stack is still pulling strapping down. Because it's on a cable, I can move it around, get all these angles. I can make the resistance come from different directions in different areas, whereas with free weights, it's always coming from below. It's always coming from the ground up, no matter what I do. I can lay down, I can stand up, I can sit, whatever I do, it's still, coming from straight down to down near the floor, because that's where gravity's, fighting gravity from. So with the cable, it gives me a little bit more room to maneuver, a little more maneuverability there, and I exploit that to the max. So some of the exercises that I do for triceps, for instance, specifically, the way I perform some of these exercises, I don't think that it's some kind of a brainstorm. I think it's just a natural progression as you learn more about your body and kinesiology and the way things work. Some of the exercises that I do that are designed for triceps are also not without awareness that my rear delt's back there playing a part. And so I will accentuate the part of the movement or exercise that is going to stress that rear delt. So I want to increase that and specify more on that rear delt. I've found over many, many, many years that, and I've covered this before, that I can get better delineation and separation between muscles when I train like that, for instance. I'm kind of training from insertion to insertion, and it spills right over into the next associated muscle nearby, if you can envision that. All the little Google experts out there, you can cry bullshit if you want to. I don't care. Anytime you want to measure arms with me, that's fine. Anytime you want to train triceps with me and get your dick knocked into the fucking dirt trying to keep up, then we can do that too. So I wanted to record that, but I didn't have anybody with me to record. I was on my bike. I had two different cameras with me. The one that was on my helmet that you guys saw, and the one I'm filming in right now. I had this in a saddlebag, but I didn't have anybody to do the shoot. So if you're ever anybody around here nearby, close enough that it's viable, if you want to train with me anytime, become a new training partner and train with myself. And usually I have Rob. I counted on Rob's going to be there today, but brother Rob he's not feeling real good today. So he's staying home, and he's eating a whole bunch of fruits and drinking a whole lot of water and hydrating and trying to run some air conditioning, get out of the heat for a while, and see if that doesn't clear things up for him, so that at least tomorrow he has some relief. But without him there, I have nobody whatsoever to potentially film the video, and it really makes it awkward and kind of destroys the flow of my workout for me to try to do it myself. And it would have been ideal because the gym wasn't really crowded. And here comes the sun again. See, some things you have no control over, right? Well, I can't control that. But hopefully it's better. I don't know if it is or if it isn't. It is what it is. I'm outside, out back. Oh man, it's been nice to have a few days off. I'm going to try and get more content up. I have a lot of stuff to talk about, a lot of stuff to comment on, a lot of stuff to say, share my opinion, express my opinion anyway. But I just haven't had the time to dedicate to it because I'm actually busy living life. I'm actually living life to the degree that I don't have the time to always carve out to sit down and make a video and put it up on YouTube. I think I do, for a guy that actually has a full life, and a guy that actually is a man, that the buck does stop here, which is another thing that a lot of people don't have. I have a lot of responsibilities. I have a decent piece of property, old farmhouse, well over 100 years old. Things need to be, kept up with and repaired. And most recently, well pump. I had to put a well pump in, and then the dryer broke. I had to fix the dryer. That was just a switch, was no big deal. Not the dryer, the washer. The dryer was a few weeks ago. It's always something. I'm a fix-it guy. I turn wrenches for a living. I don't go out and just buy new things. I'm determined I can fix it, then I'll fix it, I don't want to keep buying new things when there'd be like a $20 component that's damaged and shutting down the whole circus on a piece of equipment. Why am I going to go and buy, an entirely new appliance and shit can one that's got perfectly good parts still on it and everything else is still good when I can get years remaining out of that thing and devote that money somewhere else. And maybe we'll talk about that a little bit right here now. I don't want to make this too long and get boring. I'm already long-winded. Many people will agree with that, and I admit it's true for the most part often. But that's another thing. Part of being a man, I think, is that, the saying, the buck stops here. And somewhere in every company, there's somebody whose desk there's probably a plaque on, whether it's literal or just inferred, that that's where the buck stops. That's it. That's the guy that's going to have to deal with it or make the decision or call the shot. And a lot of men, and I'm not telling you guys anything you don't already know. I know that many of you out there, and women, the buck stops with you. I mean, there's nowhere to go. What do? Who do you, there's nobody to cry to. You far beyond crying to mom and dad. You grow up, you move out, you make your own way. A lot of people don't understand that shit. They think people are supposed to do things for them, like actually solve their problem and fix it and just hand it to them with a nice bow on top of it. And that's the shit that, how can a grown man have any self-respect and dignity if that's the way he conducts his affairs and how he lives his life and what he believes? That's not your parents' job. It's not even your friend's job. It's not your brother's job. You understand? I mean, you can have, what brotherhood is something that you don't take advantage of it just because there's a brother there that's willing to help you, because that brother's got his own life too. Buck stops here. A lot of shit goes on. A lot of things I handle. A lot of things I manage and do. A lot of things. So when I try to help anybody, I'll help. I'll overextend myself, which I do. I'll overextend myself. But there's a line. I'm not going to spoon feed a man. I'll give him, for instance, a sandwich. But as long as he's fully functional and capable, I'm not going to break pieces off and put it in his mouth and help him chew it up and swallow it. You understand what I'm saying? So some people, that's what they expect. There are people out there like that, I just wanted to talk about that because I've had people say to me, I've given people money, I do all this kind of stuff. People say, oh, you're a fool. They're only going to spend on drugs or alcohol or whatever have you. It's a waste of time. And I've acknowledged, my intention was never other, or my reality or understanding was never other. I realize that I am not systemically curing some type of societal ill, but I'm directly interceding on an individual's behalf. If somebody's hungry, I give them something to eat. They're not hungry. If somebody's cold, I give them a blanket. Right that minute, that's a little bit, I've kind of rectified a situation or inserted myself in there and had an intervention, directly one-on-one with what I could do. But when it comes to how far you should go for a brother, everybody needs companionship, everybody needs family of some sort or another. And ideally, I don't think there's anybody that wants to live without love. So, back in, no matter how far back you go, always throughout history, throughout mankind's time on this planet, it's been the same way. I mean, they're trying to change things up now and make it all like we're insignificant and eliminate men, crush our test levels and every other thing. The people, the little busters out there, they don't even believe it's happening to them. But that's why they're so bitchy and crying all the time, because it is happening to them. They're inflicted and they don't even know it. Afflicted, inflicted. I'd like to take the old West, for example. Westward expansion. Men went out because they didn't have anything going on, or weren't satisfied where they were, and they moved westward. They expanded, and they went out into the wild, and they knew they were risking their lives, and it was a tough, perilous journey for many. It wasn't easy. Many perished, no doubt. Some people probably turned home broke, sniveling. But it took real men to go across the West like that, and just to and at that time, women were like a very valuable commodity, because there was a very limited resource. There weren't very many women. There weren't women, out there. It was all men, and a man might not even see a woman for who knows how much time. So when men got out there, and once they found they could live out there, what's the next thing they wanted to do? They wanted a companion. They wanted a companion. So how does a man get a companion? Every man wants a companion, and they're in short supply. So how does a man attract the attention of a woman that he can convince her to come all the way out there into the wild? Well, there you go. That's why he had to build a house. That's why, the guy over, the next parcel of land over, he one-upped them because he got indoor plumbing now. I got indoor plumbing. That's a big thing for a woman. Maybe you hung some curtains up. And when you built the house, you were considering that you wanted a woman to be able to reside in that house, to want to live in that house. These were all lures and things to make the woman more comfortable, to try to get a partner, to try and earn you a partner. I mean, hell, to take a special breed of woman to even, ride all the way out there in a damn buckboard wagon or whatever have you, or walk out, or far they had to walk, or ride on a horseback, or whatever it took, right? Stagecoach, whatever it was. So what was the next thing we got to do? Well, we got to get railway system in here. We got to get trains so we can get these women out here in a more comfortable fashion. Okay, well, there's a mountain in the way. What are you going to do with that? We're going to go through that mountain. You know what I mean? Because that's how determined men were. Because the buck stops here, right? Somebody had to do it. And so they did it, and we built an entire nation that way. And it's the same all over the world. Just same all over the world. I've said this before, and there are people that will fight against this and disagree 100%, but they're wrong. If there were no women, it wasn't for women, okay? I'm saying, I know it would be a whole different set, but a whole different life, but it's because of women and men's desire to have companionship and not to be alone and to have a partner that we have the infrastructure that we have. That's where the birth of our infrastructure came from. It's almost everything men do. If you trace it back to that initial grain of inspiration, there's thought of companionship in there somewhere, Fast forward to today, now we got a whole different breed. You have people now that are 40 years old, and they're alone, but they're not trying to better themselves. They're not competitive anymore. They're not bringing anything to the table, and they wonder why they don't have a companion. They can't get a good woman. Well, you're not going to get a good woman, Okay, so yeah, we can be brothers and all that shit, 100%. But when the well pump goes up and there's no indoor plumbing now for me, I value the woman that I have. I'm ex-military. I'll dig a hole in the yard. I don't give a shit. But I prefer not, but I'll make it. You know what I mean? But I'm going to get that well pump fixed. I'm going to put one in there, whatever it takes. Something breaks, dryer, washer, I'm going to fix that shit. I'm not just going to piss and moan and wonder who can fix it for me and, you know, blame everybody else for my, you know, problems and shit. I got all that to take care of. The buck fucking stops here. Buck stops here. So other people, if that's not the case with you, then you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. You don't even know what I'm saying. You don't even know what I'm saying. It's going way over your head. Sounds like gibberish, right? But that's why. So if I can't run out and spoon feed the motherfucker, you know, it's because these are obligations that I have to tend to first. First. Fix home first. Take care of home first, right? That'd be your kids, your woman, whatever the case may be. You take care of home first. You don't ruin your whole life to try to help another brother up out of the hole. Okay? And if a brother expects you to do that to that extent, he's no brother. It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. That's not what brotherhood is. Brotherhood is, you know, I'm a man and you're a man. If you want me to respect you as a man, then I'm going to help you. I'm going to give you the tools. But you're the ones who have to pick them up and use them. And if I don't see that happening, I'm only going to be involved so long to that degree. I'm not going to bend over fucking backwards. Just not going to, because then you're not showing me brotherhood. You're taking advantage. Right? So there's a point everywhere. So beware of that too. There are motherfuckers that will take advantage of you. I'm not telling you nothing you don't know. Anyway, let me out of here. I'm off on another rant and probably don't even know what the fuck I'm talking about. Maybe I don't either. You guys take care. I'll be back shortly. Have an awesome day.